Alright guys, jumping right back into League for Dark Matter and Return Sphere. We're in round 5 this time. We got the Guado Glories going against the Luca Goers. We are taking on the Albed Sykes and the Kilka Beasts going against the Ronso Fangs. So we've got a really good league so far. We've been killing it, honestly, with the amount of experience we've gotten and the grinding we've done. And we're just continuing the journey, really. There's not too much to add to it. I think we got around level 89 Gira and level 88 Zazie. So, like, we're the lowest person in regards to level is Guado still, but he's level 85. So, like, that's not terrible. And then once we get him back in the field in the next league, he's gonna skyrocket on levels. He's gonna skyrocket. He's gonna be insane. So, the big question we have, I guess, right now is how much experience are we going to get from shooting with Gira and Zazie, and will we get enough over time to level them up to 99? Or I mean, obviously we will, but like, when will that be? Because I'm fiercely convinced that we are going to actually level up. I think we're going to level up our defenders and Noi to a respectable level, to where we won't have to worry about it anymore. But yeah, we're just continuing it right now. That's like the big thing. Yeah, it looks like Grave catches the ball just here, and then yeah, in the midfield he's gonna take the tackle from Knob, which I wouldn't recommend because we immediately steal the ball. I actually messed that up quite a bit. Let's see if I get punished. I think I might. I was trying to figure out how to get Zazie Guado the ball, but I sort of went downward to go towards Gira, and then I went up, and then it was like I got into a midfield encounter essentially, and this is why they're so tough. But we do kind of escape that, and we get Gira the ball, and we talked previously in the last game about offensive passing with our forwards. This is actually where we have to utilize it, because Gira just has too much pressure to be able to successfully take a tackle and score and have all of that happen for him. So we're going to pass between Zazie and Gira until we open up Gira. Looks like he is open because we slept that defender. And then we're just set up for another goal. Like, this is beautiful. This is exactly what we want to see. This is everything. And then Nizarut going to miss that block, and we're going to go up 2-0. Definitely not a bad turn of events for us. I will say it feels like we are pretty slow in the experience game for our forwards, but I'm not too worried about that because I'll just play games until we get there. I think in general we're hitting maybe 40 to 50 experience per game, which isn't bad. Like, that's not a terrible number, but compared to like Noi, and Noi was getting something insane. Like, he was getting like over 100 experience a game sometimes. He was so good. So we'll see if we can match. Well, not match that, see if we can get more experience for our forwards. It's kind of this weird thing where we just got to figure out what we want to do. Because right now, Guado still is like the priority on the level up train. And then once he's a good enough level, like, we don't really care as much. It's kind of, it is what it is, you know. We'll just play Blitzball games naturally until we get to 99. I think we sort of did that with the Ronso Fangs, if I remember correctly. Which was insane. It's speaking on a perspective as the person doing these journeys and playing through the storyline. It's so weird to play naturally through the storyline, like play through Final Fantasy X while doing this. The main reason being is I spent so much time in Luca, hundreds of hours in Luca, if not like 1,000 hours in Luca, like a very long. There was a mass amount of time spent in Luca. And once I got done with the Ronso Fangs journey and the Luca Goers journey, like, I was out of Luca. And mentally, like, that's crazy because I didn't know if I'd ever progress that far in these series, because I thought I could have bitten off more than I could chew. But through perseverance, you know, you get everything done that you need to get done in life. But now I'm at that place in Makalania, so we're about to finish with the Guado Glories, then we're doing the Kilka Beasts, and we're going to still be stuck in Makalania Woods. But once we're done with that, we're progressing with the story again. So I guess the gist of it is like it's weird because it changes how you play the game dramatically. Like it changes your perspective on the scenarios. Like it's you know how you play through an RPG and stuff, and you have these scenes and you go through the game and you have this natural pacing to the game. Like, this is gonna sound really, really dumb, and I apologize if it does, but I have legitimately been camping in Macalania Woods for half a year. We're gonna get a little bit of experience for them, a little bit of experience for us. And what I mean by that is, like, the only scenario I see when I play Final Fantasy is Macalania Woods. So now, like, when I move on from it, it's gonna legitimately feel like I've, like it's increased. God, this sounds so dumb. It's like increased the amount of time I've spent there, and it's made it feel like I've actually had to camp there in real time. You know, like the time the NPC characters see, or the like Tidus and Eunice, like I'm experiencing that time myself. It's just crazy, you know. I guess at the core of what I'm saying is playing Blitzball like this has dramatically changed the pacing of the game, which feels weird, but also a little bit rewarding because it feels like a real struggle where I'm trying to work through the game, you know, through Blitzball, but still work through the game. Yeah. It makes you wonder, like, how games would feel that way if like Final Fantasy X is a good example since we're already on it. Like how Final Fantasy X would feel if instead of like an hour you spent in Besaid or whatever, however long it takes you, I actually don't remember the actual time it takes to beat Besaid. But like if you spent like 20 hours there, like it changes your perspective and you become like a lot more ingrained in the environment, you know, like you think about it a lot more. And Final Fantasy VII Remake's a good example of this. You become so much more used to the situation you're in the game that you're playing. Like in Final Fantasy VII, you're very used to Midgar, and like that is your entire life. So like when you jump from Midgar to outside of Midgar in Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, which I know isn't out yet, but when you jump there, like your perspective shifts dramatically, and you're more connected to the world you're in. Yeah, I think obviously the 7 remake, it's a little bit more severe than like what I'm doing here, because like there's no actual storyline that like I'm following, and I'm not learning more about Macalania Woods as I play. But it's weird because you feel like you're camped out in these scenarios. I was very surprised when I got past Luca, though. I legitimately was, because I knew it was going to be a long journey, and the biggest like sink was grinding, actually, I think, because the Seek Ronso cost 3,500 gil to sign, and I didn't have a ton of gil, so he was very, very expensive for so long. Like it took so much, because you gotta think about it like this. When I was signing contracts, I'm on the PS3, like I can't edit the save to give Beseek Ronso to me. So I had to like sign all the Ronso things over and over and over, and I essentially had to sink Gil into this team that I wasn't even playing with. And eventually, when I had everyone, I could start. But by that time, I had sunk tens of thousands of Gil into the Ronso fangs, and then on top of that, the ongoing cost of Beseek Ronso is 3,500 per game. So it definitely adds up over time, like the cost. It is interesting though as you play through, because the game never, I feel like the game never intended you to have those players or play as much as I'm playing. You know, I didn't think anyone would be doing like this much Blitzball this early on. I do give props to the game though, because they don't like weaken the amount of the power of Blitzball items you receive at any point. It's kind of like you get dark matter if you want dark matter. And the reason I like that is I like soft walls on RPGs where it's like we're gonna put a very difficult enemy here, or we're gonna put a huge time sink here, and we're not gonna outright say you can't do it, but we're gonna gently nudge you into the right direction. So So people who just want to casually play the game is like fun. If you want to max out your weapons in Luca, or sorry, in Guado Salam, feel free. Like feel free to you're gonna have to sink a billion hours, but like you can do it. So I like the soft locks, you know. And it looks like Voluch's contract with Guado Glories expired. Looks like a boost is signed with the Guado Glories. I think it's Fafnir Fang was talking about Vorja. I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting for Vorja to be signed. Maybe. I don't think he's on any team right now, but yeah, finishing up, we got the Guado Glories winning 5-1. We win 6-0. Kilkabees take it 3-1. It's good. It's good stuff, man. We are undefeated still, and certainly the top scorer. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And when you come back, we're going to be playing more Blitzball. Until next time.